Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Mitchell. Hey, in today's video, I want to talk to you about how to approach women. This is going to be for the guys that know that if they want to get anything they want in life, that they're going to have to go out of their way to get it. In this case, it's going to be a woman, relationships. I think it's a man's job to approach a woman first. Now, that's not saying that women don't do that. Women approach guys all the time, okay? But this is for the men that want to increase the odds in their favor. And so I'm going to tell you how to do that, okay? It's real, and this is coming from a guy that's 29 years old in a wheelchair. Like today at the gym, I went up to 3 different girls. 2 of them, absolute fucking dimes. I think any guy would have been scared to meet them, and I just went up to them, right? So I'm going to talk to you about how to do this, because again, if you want things to work out in your favor, whether that's in life, business, relationships, anything, you know, it's your responsibility as a man to put yourself out there and keep heading towards that goal until it gets it, okay? So I got some notes in front of me. Here's what we're going to cover in this video, okay? How to start a combo, how to tell her she's interested, how to tell her she's not interested, and then how to ask for her number. And then we can also go a step ahead of that, how to ask her out on a date. Because the fewer steps you can take, the better chance you're going to get at getting her out on a date, okay? And so I will start by saying how to approach women. Now, I am going to, how to approach women, how to start a conversation. I'm going to give you, so in all 3 of these examples of the girls that I approached today, this way of approaching has worked 100% of the time for me. It has never failed. This will also let you immediately gauge if a woman is interested in you or not, okay? So attraction is handled by Mother Nature. So if a girl likes you, she's going to know just like you almost immediately, all right? So when it comes time to just meeting someone that you want to know, obviously the hardest part is passing that fear of rejection, that invisible barrier that stops you from approaching. I'm not going to cover that in this video, because if you want to know how to meet a girl, hopefully you know how to do that. The easiest way to approach somebody is by knowing how to do it. So if you follow what I'm going to say right now, I can guarantee you that this will work every single time. So both of the girls that I saw were on this like weird leg machine that kind of like, you know, it's very vulnerable, and I would normally in the past not approach somebody like that, but today I was just like, fuck it, you know, you're hot, you're really hot, and I didn't even think about it today. I just like, I'm just gonna go do it. Also, I want to talk about, in some of my other videos, I've said that you know, you can't rely on motivation to want to go and do something. I wasn't feeling like meeting new people today, but 3 of these women in particular, I just went up, I didn't even think about it, I just went up and did it. So I detached myself from the outcome. So all 3 of these women, actually the 2 of them, so the two dimes, I approached the same way. The other girl I approached a little differently, and that's going to play out in a second, okay? So what you want to do is literally go up to them and say, hey, excuse me, what's your name? They will tell you their name, and then you say, hey, name, it's good to meet you. Then wait, and if they say, they're going to say, it's good to meet you too, what's your name? If they say, what's your name, that is a sign that you are allowed to continue the conversation. She's interested in you, okay? Now, if she says, hey, it's good to meet you too, then you say, hey, enjoy your workout, or in this case, it's the gym, enjoy your workout, and then just walk away. If they don't ask for your name, I'm telling you right now, guys, do not continue the conversation. You're likely going to get rejected because she just told you she's not interested in you. Women act more so with body language and subtle cues, whereas guys, you know, we tend to be very direct. Women will not be direct, okay? They don't want to hurt your feelings. They do things based on how they feel, and they don't want to make you feel bad. So their body language is what you have to look out for when it comes to talking to a woman. So in the 2 cases of the 2 hot girls, all I wanted to do was literally, actually the first girl, I said, hey, what's your name? And she told me your name, and I was like, wait a second. I was like, didn't I call you beautiful last week? She goes, yeah, and I was like, all right, hey, have a good workout, and then I rolled away. That's all I wanted to do, was just introduce myself. The second girl, she was over here, really wasn't a good time to approach her. Then she was over at that leg machine towards the end of my workout, and then I just went up to her, I said, hey, excuse me, what's your name? She goes, hey, my name is Paige. I said, hey, Paige, it's good to meet you. She goes, good to meet you too. I said, listen, all I wanted to say is I know you're doing legs right now, but your shoulders look absolutely fucking amazing. And they did. So in both of these cases, actually in the first girl, I just wanted to introduce myself. With Paige, I was very direct, and I was very confident about what it is I wanted to tell her, okay? So I went up to her, I gave her a genuine compliment, and then I was like, hey, enjoy the rest of your workout, see you around. And that's all I wanted to do. Now, because in those two situations, you could immediately tell that they weren't interested in talking because they didn't ask for my name back. Now, the third example, I saw this girl over here, smiled at her, took a little bit of time, she came back around, smiled at me, and I was like, okay, now I know I can approach her. Let me turn my cushion off. So, later on, I went to the bathroom, and then I came back around, and I saw her in this machine, and I was like, okay, well, so I was like, I'm going to go roll next to her and just kind of see what happens again. So I rolled next to her, looked at her, smiled, and she smiled back, and then I was like, you know what? So I literally turned my wheelchair around, went back over to her, and I took my headphones off, and she took it off. I said, hey, I said, excuse me. I said, listen, I know you're working out right now. I was like, but I wanted to tell you, I said, I just want to tell you that, and I was like, I paused, I said, I was like, this skirt that you have on is really fucking cute, by the way. And she goes, oh my God, thank you. She goes, I really like your headphones. So the girl complimented me back. If a girl compliments you, that's usually a good sign. I don't think I asked for her phone number, or her name, I mean. I was like, hey, I hope you have a good workout. She goes, wait, what's your name? So she asked for my name. So then I was like, okay. So I literally turned back around, went around to the side of her, and then I started asking her questions. I was like, hey, are you, I think we talked about, are you doing legs today? Blah, blah, blah. And then she brought up a topic about her being in school, because I asked her if she came to the gym at this time, because I've usually never seen her. And she says, no, I normally come at 7. And I was like, do you work? She goes, I'm in school. So we transitioned a conversation into her about school and her nursing. Now, the conversation went really well, okay? How to tell if a woman's interested, I'm going to get that in a second. But the way she was talking to me, she was giving me very, very elaborate answers. She was very engaged in the conversation. You can feel this when you talk to people. And so at the end of that, I said, listen, I'm going to go back to working out. I said, and she goes, enjoy your work. I said, hey, I said, you're a really cool girl. I would love to talk to you more. Can I have your phone number? And then she hesitated, looked at her phone, and then looked back. She goes, oh, I have a boyfriend. I said, okay, never mind. I said, hey, if you see me around, don't be afraid to come up and say hi. I'd love to talk to you. And then I rolled away. So I ended on good terms. So all three of these situations with these girls did not play out in the way that I would have liked it to. However, I wasn't going into these conversations with the expectation of getting a phone number. I kind of just wanted to play things out and see where it goes, because I'm at the point in time right now where I can talk to a woman and I can gauge basically where her interest level is. So that girl that I asked for her phone number, all of the signs of interest were there, at least enough for me to ask for the phone number. Whereas the other two girls, I can immediately be like, yeah, I'm not even going to bother with this, okay? So then, how to approach girls, I just told you. Walk up and say, hey, excuse me, what's your name? Stick your hand out, and then she'll tell you their name. How to tell if a girl's interested in you. So several ways that you can tell if a girl's interested in you, okay? If you don't want to go up to women, or let me say this, if you want to wait for signs to tell that a woman is interested in you, the very first thing you want to look at is if she looks at you, you look at her, and if she smiles at you and you smile back, that is a sign that says, hey, come and talk to me, okay? If a girl smiles at you, all right, and she makes eye contact and smiles, I promise you, you are allowed to go up and talk to her. She will want to talk to you. Second thing is if she asks for your name, that's a very good indication, because if she smiles at you but doesn't ask for your name, I would still end the conversation, okay? You want the girl to ask for your name, because she has to effortlessly, or she has to intentionally ask for your name, just like that girl with the boyfriend did, okay? Now, from there, you have to be able to gauge the conversation. So for me, having conversations in general is just super easy. I'm very good at asking questions. You want the girl to do 80 to 90% of the talking. Just ask 70 to 90. Just ask her a bunch of questions to get to know her. Okay, do not talk about yourself. If she starts talking to you, if you ask her questions and she gives you very elaborate answers, instead of like if she gives you a straightforward answer like, no, I don't like that, or they'll be like, hey, what are you working on today? She just goes, legs. Or this girl's like, I don't come in the morning because I go to school. Okay, that's that and that. So those straightforward answers, you got to watch for those, because if she's not putting the effort in to talk to you, then likely that's a sign of, hey, I'm just not interested in you anymore. But in this situation with this girl, I was asking her questions. So I was like, so listen, you just told me that, I said, so based on what you just said, it sounds like you feel really good by helping other people. Is that why you got into nursing? And she was like, oh my God, you have no idea. She goes, something about being able to help other people. I would rather help others than help myself. So that's a people pleaser. But the point is, I got her to open up and she was elaborate on her responses. That is the key sign to telling if a girl is, first of all, engaged in a conversation with you, and if she's even interested in you, because you're not going to be able to tell if a girl's interested in you unless you start talking to her more. Now, from there then, so that's going to be the key sign of interest. And then the last step after you're talking to her would be ask her for her phone number or for her date, but I'll cover that in a second. Now, if a girl's not interested in you, she will come up. So in this case then, you know how she said she had a boyfriend? She could genuinely have a boyfriend. I don't know, because I don't know this girl. I don't know if she does or not, but she has no reason to lie to me. So I'm going to assume that she has a boyfriend. So that is still, that's a very polite way to say no. So if a girl does not look at you, or if she looks at you and then looks away and goes back to what she's doing, or if you look at a girl and you know she knows you're looking at her, but she's not looking at you, she's not interested, okay? Or that means that there's a sign that she's not interested. There are some girls that are shy that you can approach and get to know them. I've done that a couple times to some girls that I didn't get any signals from. But if you want to lower your rejections, you're going to want to go up to the girls that look at you and smile back, okay? So if she avoids eye contact with you, that means that, hey, I'm not really interested in you. Now, from there then, if she does not ask for your name, then she's not interested in you. If she gives you very straightforward answers, so if you're like, hey, where are you from? She just goes, Florida. Okay, well, do you like Florida? Yeah, that's cool. So right there, okay? That means she's not interested in you. She's putting in no effort. She's putting in no effort, okay? Now, if you ask her for her phone number or if you ask her out on a date, she will typically, if she does not give you the phone number or she does not make a specific date and she uses some kind of bullshit excuse, that means she's not interested. Women will use excuses, literally they'll use any excuse they can come up with to get themselves out of a situation or to tell you no without being direct and telling you no. So that's going to be the signs of how you can tell if a woman's interested in you or not interested in you, okay? So from here then, the next thing is going to be how to ask for the phone number. Okay, so how to ask for a girl's phone number. We'll finish the video here because, when it comes to starting a conversation with a girl, just like I said, you want to start asking her more questions. Ask her, get her to talk more than you're talking. So you should be the one that ask the questions, because from a sales perspective, the person asking the questions is in control of the conversation. And again, if we want the girl to like you, we want her to, women love talking about themselves. So the more you can get her to talk about herself, the better. Also, some other signs that tell she's interested is if she asks you personal questions and if she touches you. Women who do not like you will not touch you, okay? If she twirls her hair, if she's acts flirty, she's preening, touching herself, that's women's way of being flirty. That means she's kind of into you, all right? If she touches you, you know she's into you. If she doesn't, if she doesn't touch you, that doesn't mean she's not interested in you, but that's a very clear sign to tell if a woman's interested in you. All right, so now when you ask for a phone number, I'm going to give you how to ask for a phone number and then how to ask for a date. Obviously, when it comes to asking for the date right up front, you got to be okay with being rejected and being told no, just like these 3 girls that I talked to today. So when it comes to getting the phone number, I want you to say this word for word. Hey, it was great talking to you. I got to go. You seem like a really cool girl. What's your phone number? And then wait. And then if she goes, if she gives it to you without hesitation, that's a good sign. If she tries to come up with an excuse, that's a bad sign, okay? One is because I got a boyfriend. Now what I do is I said, here's my phone, just create a new I'll open up the phone number. I said, just make a new contact in my phone and I will give her the phone. Okay. Now, if you want to ask a girl out on a date immediately, then you would say, hey, listen, I got to go. I got stuff to do. When are you free to get together? When are you free this week? Let's get together for a drink, or let's go get together and do something. Okay. The whole point there is, hey, when are you free next? Because I want to when are you free next so we can get together and do something. If she gives you a specific day or a couple days, then you as the man need to make that date. So you say, okay, hey, let's do Wednesday at like 6 o'clock Let's do Wednesday at 6 o'clock. Don't tell her where you're going. Just say, let's do Wednesday at 6 o'clock. Does that sound good? Cool. Okay. Well, you can tell her where to meet you, but don't tell her like the plans for the night. Just say, okay, cool, meet me here, and we'll start there and see how the night goes. All right. So that's going to be a very, very, very easy way on how to approach women that you don't know. When it comes to approaching women, no matter, I don't care how good looking you are. Obviously, the better looking you are, the less rejections you're going to get. But you need to understand that meeting women is a numbers game. The majority of women, I mean vast majority of women that you talk to, are either not going to like you, they're not going to be available, or they're going to be taken, okay? So if they're not available, that means maybe they got other shit going on in their lives and now it's just not a good time. But that doesn't mean 6 months down the road, that might change. So it's a numbers game, okay? You're going to get a lot more no's than you are yeses, but all it takes is one yes from the right girl for that relationship to start taking off and for you to, you know, meet this girl that you want to meet. So with that being said then, the more women that you approach, the better chance you're going to have at being able to go on dates, hook up, go on or get into a relationship, so on and so forth. So if you like this video, go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe to watch some more. If you have any, and if you have any other ways to tell that a woman's interested in you or not interested in you, leave them in the comments down below. That way people, you know, such as myself, can learn from your experiences. With that being said, guys, I'll talk to you soon.